everyone. I'm Paul Bucciarelli, and I'm with the Lawrence County Regional Chamber of Commerce and Lawrence County Economic Development Group, and welcome to Chamber Chat. Our guest today is Gayle Young, who is the Executive Director of the United Way of Lawrence County. Gayle, welcome to Chamber Chat.
Thank you for inviting me, Paul. Glad to be here.
Great. So maybe we'll start off by, can you share a little bit about the mission of United Way, and how it works, how you became involved with the program?
Yes. Well, to restate it, United Way is a mission. United Way was born out of three faiths that started this organization 135 years ago. And it was started locally by Alex Crawford Hoyt, who had the insight and vision to start a United Way in this community. But the gist of it is that we raise dollars for charities in a local community. There are over 1,100 United Ways across the country, and we are also international. So we are all over the globe as United Ways. And what's nice about it is we're local, so we really get to see the needs of a community versus a government program coming down to assist our agencies.
I see. Well, that's great. Well, Gayle, I know that we're sort of coming out of the pandemic here, but can you talk a little bit about how the pandemic impacted the United Way? I'm sure it had some sort of an impact. And do you think we are back to where we were pre-pandemic?
Back to the pandemic, about a year before it started, I alerted my board that I felt that a pandemic was coming, and our community was not prepared for this. So at that time, I met with our L.I.C.E office. We had a VOAD, that basically are volunteers that help in disasters. Okay. And so we were able to work together with some local agencies and get that up and running about 3 months before COVID hit. So we got the bylaws and the structure in place. So that kind of prepped us for everything that was happening. But as far as all nonprofit agencies, we are still trying to recover from this. It was a hard hit. Everything that we were trained for H1N1 consisted of mass feeding and mass gatherings. And this was completely different, where you had to be socially separated. So there was a learning curve for a lot of us. And also financially, a lot of our agencies really suffered. We were down $100,000 because we couldn't do any special events. A lot of our agencies are still trying to recover from the pandemic. So we're not out of this yet. As I mentioned before, some of the issues that we had were with food, utilities. We have meetings coming up on utilities and housing, rent eviction, so that those are still huge. We have still huge problems left from the pandemic.
So we still have a lot of work to do, it sounds like.
Yes, we do. They were always there before, but the pandemic really uncovered it.
So, thank you, Gayle, for that update. So your website discusses the A.L.I.C.E population, which identifies as working people who struggle financially.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a little bit more about the A.L.I.C.E program, and especially with respect to Lawrence County?
Sure. I'm so glad that it has a name now, A.L.I.C.E. In the past, we called them the working poor, but it stands for Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed. And that's probably about 50% of the residents here in Lawrence County. This study was done by Rutgers University several years ago, and a lot of states have adopted it because the government has the poverty levels, but it does not account for working poor.
Okay.
And so this is where the A.L.I.C.E comes in. It includes that group.
So I saw a copy of a housing study from 2018 about Lawrence County. It showed that many low-income families spend 60 to 80% of their income for just housing, and we have a huge number of mobile homes in the county. What are the impacts of these kind of numbers on us?
It's just the mentally the mindset of poverty. Families are working, as I said, we have a lot of working poor families are trying to get out of it, but we don't have the proper agencies like a housing agencies that can foster people into home ownership. And that's why United Way started the Home Buyers Club, Home Buyers program to get families credit ready to purchase their homes. The housing stock that we have, I think I was just reading a report today that 46%, we only have 46% of the housing stock that's needed for low mod and senior and elderly individuals in our county. So there is a huge housing gap. Huge housing gap.
It sounds like it would be an opportunity, but would that be a government-funded program, or do you see the private sector coming in for some of that?
I don't see anyone stepping up to the plate. That's why United Way stepped up to the plate.
I got it. Well, we thank you for your efforts there. I see you work with a good number of partner agencies, Gayle.
Yes.
Can you speak a little bit about how those relationship works and how you collaborate with these partners?
Sure. We're the United Way of Lawrence County. I try to remind people that all of Lawrence County. We work with 14 agencies in Lawrence County that are considered our member agencies. And when we're raising the dollars for the campaign, they apply for these funds. And we have a committee that reviews their applications and decides the level of funding for each one of our member agencies. I don't make that decision. We have committees that do that. But we also partner with other agencies that are not United Way member agencies, like for instance L.I.C.E. I serve on their FEMA board for disasters. So there's a lot of other agencies, drug and alcohol. So we're connected to all of the agencies because we're looking at the big picture, not just one pigeonhole.
Yeah, and it sounds like collaboration would be the way to get something done. So that's really good to hear. Gayle, I know you're involved and you're an advocate for the use of dialing 211 for non-emergencies versus dialing 911. Can you share a little bit about 211 and how your involvement became in there?
Sure. Pennsylvania was one of the last states to adopt 211, the phone number. A lot of the southern states had it first because of the number of disasters that they have in their area and the need to communicate with all of their residents. But 211 works like 911, and it's a number that you can call for any emergencies, any health and human service questions that you may have. If you're concerned about someone that's elderly, finding assistance, child care, food, utilities. If you'd like to go to school, you don't have to remember any of the hotline numbers. You just call 211 and they will direct you to any hotline number that you need to be in touch with. And I love 211 because the navigators train to ask pointed questions to drive the conversation, because normally it's not just one issue that's going on in the household, so they're able to pull out more information. And plus it reduces about 67% of the call volume on the 911 line.
Oh, that's huge.
So it's a lifesaver, and I was able to bring this to Lawrence County in 2013 with the help of the Lawrence County Commissioners.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear.
Yes.
So Gayle, it sounds like you're really passionate about your work, you can tell. Can you talk about any recent success stories or what you're most proud of, Gayle?
Oh, I have so many, so many areas where I'm really proud of some of the work that's been done in Lawrence County. But recently, I did want to share that we have our first family. We started our home buyers class in partnership with Penn State Extension, 10,000 Friends. Like I said, we collaborate with a lot of the agencies. And she attended our session last year, and she was able to become credit ready. And I was talking to her banker, and she just purchased her first home.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
We're really excited about it. And once again, those families are paying 60 to 80% of their income. So now they're able to have a savings, an emergency fund. So we train them in all of that in our classes to be prepared for that.
And I'm sure, so you accept new enrollees then overall?
Yes, we're having the classes 3 times a year. You can just contact our office, United Way office, 724-658-8528, or call 211. They will direct you to our organization. All of our agencies in Lawrence County, they update the information, so everything should be current on the 211 line. So that it works as a right now needs assessment. I receive reports on a monthly basis on all the calls, what zip code, and even the unmet needs are listed there as well.
A great program.
Yes.
So Gayle, if a business or individual would like to become more involved with the United Way, either to volunteer or to contribute, how would they do that?
You can contact the United Way at 724-658-8528 or visit our website, www.uwlawcty.org. But I do have a success story on 211 too in our region. That number was used to help get an individual out of human trafficking. We passed these out to our UPS drivers a few years ago, and so when they see something suspicious, they would just give them a 211 card. And it happened in another county, but they were able to contact the FBI and get someone out of human trafficking. So it's like a lifeline for a lot of individuals.
Well, that's more than a success story.
Yes.
That's saving someone's life.
Yes.
Well, Gayle, thank you so much today for agreeing to chat with us. I really appreciate all the great work that you do,
Thank you.
And we'll see you again soon. Chamber Chat audience, thank you for watching today, and we'll see you next time.